the Eastern Conference semifinals, Game 7. The Detroit Pistons have endured 6 long games. 3 they have won, 3 they have lost. It is now the last stand. There is no looking back as they must lay it all on the line against the Atlanta Hawks. It's all come down to Game 7 of the conference semifinals. Up next.
And the winner tonight. Now a look at Detroit's starting lineup. Cade and Ivey, they're the backcourt. Sar Thompson out there with Jalen Duren. And it's Whitehead in at the 3 slot. And for Atlanta, Davis out there with Dyson Daniels. Then it's Jalen Johnson. And it's Kane in at the 5, roaming the paint. You look at Detroit, well, it took a monumental effort just to push this to a game 7. Now, do they have enough left to win on the road against a very talented club?
That's a good question. I mean, at this point, I think the physical exhaustion may take a backseat to the mental exhaustion, especially with the energy of the crowd working against them. To advance, they're going to have to be more focused than they've ever been.
Here's Cunningham. After the Hawks picking up a basket just moments ago. Lets it go from deep, and he buries his first look.
Well, you try to stay connected to Cunningham, but he finds a way.
Daniels. Oh, a great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and a nasty jam.
With 2 hands on the rock, he powers it through.
Totally in control, protecting the ball the whole way. Now here's Ivey. Pass to Thompson. Back to Cunningham. Detroit moving the ball around. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Ivey passes to Whitehead. The 3. Ivey's shot is off. Here's Warwick. He drops it from range.
Defensively, you have to stay connected to him on the perimeter.
Detroit has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. Whitehead can't get it to go.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
Daniels passes to Johnson. Outside Davis. Fades away. And it's Atlanta scoring again.
Well, early in this game, they've made one good play after another.
Pass to Whitehead. Tipped. Tries to save it. To halt the run. Basket counts.
Yeah, developing consistency with the jump shot has been Sar Thompson's #1 priority.
There's a screen. Here's Davis. Detroit with a rebound.
Well, there you have it, their first miss of the game, but still off to a solid start.
Oh!
Wow!
He's a living highlight reel.
Seriously, that could end up being one of the best dunks of the year. And thanks to AT&T. For a great look at that dunk on their connected cam. There's the 3. Gets the 3 ball. To go. Davis has got 7.
And you want to get him going as soon as possible. Great way for him to start this game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if he gets into a good rhythm early, watch out.
Here's Cunningham. And again, it's Detroit converting.
Yeah, that's a shot that Cunningham is very comfortable with. No problem with the mid-range.
Pass to Daniels. Now here's Johnson. The 3. Offensive rebound. Inside. Here's Kane, covered by Duren. And the basket by Kane.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
And here's Ivey from the arc. Sinks it from distance.
Well, when Ivey's making his threes, you You have to come out to him at the line, and that really opens up driving lanes for him.
Here's Davis. Good efficiency. He's drained 4 out of 5. Pistons trail by 4. Here's Whitehead. Lets the 3 fly. And Detroit another 3.
That's how they like to see him operate. Big part of their attack.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
I caught up with Quinn Snyder. I asked him what his thoughts were on Cade Cunningham, and he said Cade is extremely talented. He's got great size. He plays under control. He's one of those guys that makes his teammates better. It's easy to see why he initiates so much of their offense. Brian, back over to you.
Allie, thank you.
Well, they just need to keep getting him the ball. He has been terrific.
Thompson outside to the left wing. And so the timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff here. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments.
It may be a players' league, but the coaches obviously play a big part as well.
And this is when a coach earns his paycheck. Analyze the situation.
Okongwu checked in for Cade. Pass to Davis. Another basket. He's now 6 for 7 in the contest.
And guys, the way this defense is getting manhandled down low, you have to wonder if they're at 100% right now.
Here's Holland. Fires the 3. That one falls. He's now 1 for 3.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
Davis, the pass to Okongwu. Johnson on the wing. Pass to Warwick. The 3 is up. That's in there. Davis with the assist. Warwick's got 6.
And their offense looking like a well-oiled machine.
Here's Whitehead. 5 points in the game. Here he goes.
Oh, wow! What a play!
That was incredible.
B.A., forget about attempting the long-range 3 to cut into that lead. Just attack the rim, my man.
Man, that was sweet. From deep three-point land. And it's Whitehead with a rebound.
I know that he has the ability and confidence to sink that shot. But better luck next time, maybe.
Yeah, it's one of those heat check shots. And heat check is a synonym for bad shot.
Davis, that's good.
Well, he's a reason why they're winning right now. He's been efficient offensively, and his confidence continues to grow.
Stewart, right side, to the paint. Sasser gets the bucket.
Just owning the painted area. If it's working, no need to change.
Atlanta leading by 5. Davis, the pass to Okongwu. Now Risache puts up a 3. Holland with a rebound.
Defensive breakdown there, and they got lucky. He's not going to miss too many of those.
Stewart, a screen on Davis. Pass to Jenkins. Fires the 3. Atlanta with the rebound. On the wing, Risache. Stewart defends. And here's Okongwu. Outside Johnson. Misses the deep three-point attempt. The baskets were coming early and often in the first quarter. Atlanta on top, up 5. And quarter number 2 will get underway just after this short break. And our coverage of Game 7 continues. Intense atmosphere right now. And a chance to catch up on some... Now Duran. No made baskets yet. Pass to Whitehead. From deep three-point range. Rebounded by Warwick.
And you just can't afford to give up that kind of look very often.
Davis against Cunningham. And yes, it goes. Got a little English on that one. Davis has got 17.
He's really finding his rhythm here. I mean, smart move to keep feeding him the ball.
Yeah, when you have a guy playing like he has been recently, he's got to be the first option on every possession.
Whitehead cans it with nobody near him. He's got 9. And so the timeout by Quinn Snyder here. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Making some changes. Okongwu's checked in for Kane. Newell comes in for Risache. And it's Alexander Walker in for Daniels. Davis against Cunningham. Here's Alexander Walker. That one falls. Coming off Davis' feed. Alexander Walker's got 10 points now, just in this quarter. And the shot goes.
Well, you like to see Ivy capitalize on the interior.
And Davis has got the ball here for the Hawks. Leading by 5 from deep three-point land. And the Hawks with another 3.
And the deep... defense is really allowing them too much room on the perimeter.
Pass to Whitehead. From deep. Rebound Atlanta. And here's Okongwu. No points yet. No problems knocking that one down. And it's a 10-point Atlanta lead.
Well, offensively, I just really like what Okongwu can do. He's got multiple ways he can hurt you.
A dynamic finish, then decides to hang out a little for good measure.
Yep, that's the exclamation point right there. Oh, the dunk by Okongwu!
Love to see this kind of aggression from Okongwu. Great job playing with force inside.
Cunningham against Davis. Cunningham up top. 9 points in the game. Shoots over Davis. And it's Cunningham missing.
And even with the miss, that's a high percentage shot for him.
Pass to Newell. There's Davis with the 3. Hits the trifecta. Davis has got 23 points.
Slowly building up steam. Hit 1 from range in the first. He's hit 2 here in the second.
Ivy outside. Here's Cunningham. Ooh, assertive from Cunningham.
And they had early success from the perimeter, but I don't understand how they've gotten away from that here in the second.
Pass to Warwick. Lets it go. That one falls. Coming off Davis' feed. Warwick's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And this is what you want to do when you've got a big lead. You must stay aggressive.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless. Building this lead in every way possible.
And here's Ivy from the arc. And he scores it. Now 5 of 9 from the field.
Well, they're behind, but it's certainly not because of him. He's doing everything he can. He just needs more help from his teammates.
Here's Davis. And the Hawks tack on 2 more.
Well, when you have a guy scoring like he is, you redraw every play to be about getting him the ball.
It's Cunningham with a drive. Excellent D there from Davis.
Suffocating defense to keep the layup from falling.
And Finished off by Davis.
In terms of offense, they've been the more efficient team by far.
Well, I think it's because they're calling set that really match up well with their personnel.
Here's Ivy. Oh, wow!
Look out!
Oh, a rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Well, come on, Jaden Ivey. That was quite a move there.
Here's Warwick. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. Warwick's got 12.
Look at what he's doing here, and it's hard to imagine him playing much better.
And so it's the Atlanta Hawks up 14 as we wrap up the quarter. Tough to run with them. They get the ball up the court so fast. Back to the game after this break.
Thanks for being with us. We're happy. Are you happy? Everything is going as planned in Game 7 for the Atlanta Hawks.
We knew they wanted a track meet, and man, they got it. What a pace they've set.
Very hard to beat them at their own game. Checking out how the Hawks are doing in this series. It all comes down to a decisive Game 7. Guys, what's it going to take for them to close out this series?
You can't leave anything in the tank. Approach it like you're playing for your life, because in some ways you are.
Thanks as always for watching.
Happy to have you back with us for the Eastern Conference semifinals on 2K Sports. Pistons trail by 14. And on the floor for J.B. Bickerstaff as we get into the second half. Cade and Ivy, they're the backcourt. Jalen Duren out there with Asar Thompson. And it's Whitehead in at the small forward position.
Strong finish to cut into that lead a little.
Man, left no doubt with that one, Grant. Davis, the pass to Johnson. Back to Davis. Duren with the rebound. Duren's got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Whitehead on the wing. Ivy takes a 3 and scoring. That now makes him 7 for 11 in this game.
Off the catch. Ivy's developed this part of his game. He now has a compact one-motion shot.
Outside Johnson. The 3 is up. And it's Whitehead with a rebound.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
Puts up a deep 3. And the Pistons, another 3.
Yeah, very hot. Start out of halftime, making their first 3 shots, getting the looks that they want, and knocking them down.
Back to Davis. Just 5 on the clock. Soft touch off the glass. Davis has got 29.
Credit the plays they're calling for him. Getting him right now some good shots.
Here's Whitehead. He's got 14. Cunningham outside. Shoots over Davis. And there's another one for the Pistons.
Well, they came out of the locker room with a purpose. 4 for 4 already in the half.
Outside Davis. Here's Cade. Good D by Duren.
Not a great start to the second half, just 1 for 4. Got to find ways to generate better looks here.
Drains the triple.
They've been aggressive during this run, but they've also played under control.
Yeah, you know, I like how they're not relying on just one guy to get it done. They're sharing the ball and keeping the defense guessing.
And so the timeout by Quinn Snyder here. He's going to take a moment to give him a breather and talk things over. The top scorers in the playoffs on our 2K leaderboard. Just under 2.5 minutes into this third quarter now. Daniels finds Davis. Down low. The shot by Johnson, no good.
Trying to get it going. Only 1 for 5 to start the second half.
Duren, Detroit moving the ball around. Pass to Whitehead. Back to Thompson. Good on the bucket.
Coming out of the break red hot. I mean, they have yet to miss a shot.
And it's Daniels with the ball for the Atlanta Hawks. Here's Kane. Now here's Davis. Oh, the Hawks again cannot hit it. A little under 3.5 minutes off the clock now in the third quarter. Cunningham against Davis for the lead. And Detroit another three.
Wow, their opponent is doing a tremendous job spacing the floor.
To the middle to stop the run. And that one is hammered home.
Oh, save that for the dunk contest. That flush was so extra.
Whether or not this game is close, he's the same guy, focused on finishing firm at the rim. And here's Ivy from the arc. Davis with a rebound.
Well, defense got lucky there. More often than not, he's making that shot.
Here's Warwick, defended by Thompson. Johnson for three. The rebound by Detroit.
I know he's on a cold streak, but he can't let that get in his head.
Yeah, they might want to draw something up here to get him something at the rim or get him to the free throw line. Sometimes that's all it takes to snap a cold streak.
Perfect from the field this quarter. Gotta wonder how long he can sustain it.
Pass to Warwick. Here's Kane. And here's Davis. Puts it up from the high post. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Davis has gotten 4 this quarter.
Oh, he's putting on a scoring clinic, guys. If it wasn't for him, they would not be in this game.
Here's Whitehead. He's got 19. Pass to Cunningham. 5 on the clock. Driving in. Oh, big finish!
And Cunningham's size at his position allows. Allows him to see over defenders and find his teammates.
And so the timeout by Quinn Snyder here. He's going to talk it over with his guys. And Atlanta making a change here. Reese Chase checked in. The Hawks trailing. Pass to Johnson. Here's Warwick. The 3 ball. It goes again. His 6th basket in 7 tries.
You know, for a 6'9" wing, Johnson puts up really good assist numbers.
Cunningham looking it over. Now here's Thompson. Here's Whitehead. 21 points in the game. There's Cunningham with a 3. Yes, and a nice assist. This from Thompson. Thompson's got 4 assists now tonight.
A little back and forth from Cunningham. He's gotten comfortable from 3-point range.
Outside Johnson. 1 1:49 left in the third quarter. Here's Davis, and he makes it on the layup. Davis has got 6 here in the quarter.
Well, he's been very efficient in this quarter. Keep getting him the ball.
And so the timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff here. He's going to take a minute to regroup with his players. And the Pistons going with a whole new group out there. Detroit shooting it in. Kispert's checked in for the Hawks. So for the Hawks, Jalen Johnson, he's checked in for Okongwu. Daniels comes in for Kispert, and it's Davis in for Alexander Walker. Detroit also making some changes. Jalen Duren, he's checked in for Holland, and Cade Cunningham subbed in for Sasser. Risacher at the 3, Johnson at the 4. Dyson Daniels out there with Davis, and it's Kane in at the 5 spot. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. Daniels misses.
And they're doing strong work on the glass, a +5 advantage for them.
And that one's good. Stewart.
What I love about Stewart, he never backs down. Plays the game with passion that's rarely seen.
From behind the arc. Davis can't hit.
After draining 3 triples in the first half, he doesn't have any in the second half. I know he's disappointed, but he needs to remain aggressive.
Pass to Stewart, fires the 3, nails it from 3. And it's a 12-point Detroit lead.
Here in the second half, they're really focused on stretching the floor.
Yeah, and where has the defense been? They've been content to let them fire away. They've got to close out to the arc. Well, that's his 4th triple for the game now, just his 1st in the second half. Well, he's a bit of an undersized center. However, his leaping ability can certainly mask that.
On the wing, Risacher launches it. Duren with a rebound.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
Cunningham outside. Pass to Duren. Over Daniels. Duren, no good. Hawks trail by 11. On the wing, Daniels. Back to Davis. Here's the 3. Pure from 3-point range. Davis has got 41.
Well, that brings his total to 5 makes from beyond the arc for the game. Feeling some confidence from range.
And the timeout called here by J.B. Bickerstaff. Coach clearly has something he wants to say to his team right now. For the Pistons, Thompson comes in for Stewart, and Jaden Ivey subbed in for Jenkins. And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Hey team, I was able to catch the message that J.B. Bickerstaff was giving to his team. He actually challenged his players. He said, quote, "We are in this one. We can see the finish line. How will we react?" I'm curious to see who steps up and takes it to the next level. Big challenge from Coach.
And Allie, thank you for that.
Oh, love the intensity in which they're hitting the boards.
Here's Whitehead. Yes! Using that window!
They just look so overwhelmed inside. You know, that's why they continue to get attacked.
Daniels outside. Johnson fires. Knocks down the trifecta.
Well, he may not be the most steady 3-point shooter, but Johnson continues to put a ton of work into his shot.
Cunningham, and he drives in. Oh, he dropped it straight in.
And trying to put the game away, he's been nails all evening.
Yeah, but you can't let up now. We've seen too many wild comebacks in this league.
And coming down the stretch, both teams still playing fantastic offense.
Yeah, and hopes that your opponent is just going to go cold. That's not going to happen, it doesn't look like in this one. This might go down to whoever has the last possession. The contest plus the board. A full defensive possession from him. Great effort.
Davis. Oh, the confidence. That was deep.
And that's a clutch shot by a big-time shooter. And where's the D?
Here's Cunningham. Stolen by Davis. Here's Johnson. There's a minute 12 left in the fourth quarter. The free ball is down.
Talk about the range. I mean, he's got amazing feel from that distance. Woo.
Cunningham against Davis. Buries it from outside.
Well, we talk about ice in his veins a lot, but this guy personifies that. What a clutch shot.
Count it.
Whoa, that is as clutch as it gets. Big time play.
Yeah, don't you just love to see a player embrace that kind of pressure?
Here's Whitehead. Duran the screen. Let's loose for three. Cleared away by Davis.
And the game isn't over yet, but they have to move quickly.
Yeah, this one isn't over, but they can't afford to waste any time now.
No! They're unable to get the tying basket there. And they committed intentional foul. We'll see another one of those. So they get into the penalty. And an intentional foul right there.
Yeah, just trying to keep this game alive. Not a bad foul right there.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a three-point lead. And the second free throw, no good. Tough break there. And so it's Quinn Snyder here calling timeout. Critical moment here. He's not taking any chances. What do you think is going to be their best move at this point?
A tricky situation here. They need some kind of bucket to stay alive.
Yeah, clock is their enemy and they know it. We'll see if they go for the tie or try and get a quick.
Jalen Johnson, and he nails it.
Yeah, every year in the league, Johnson's become a better three-point shooter. That tells you how hard he works in the offseason.
And J.B. Bickerstaff decides to call timeout. Great time to call his guys into the huddle at a very tense moment in this game. Cade on the move, spins. Here's Duran. Graceful finish on the alley-oop.
Just a perfect pass and some pretty slick body control on the finish, too.
Man, that's butter. And so it's Quinn Snyder here calling timeout. There is a lot on the line. And he is determined to make sure everyone's on the same page. And looking at the options here, what do you think is being discussed?
More than enough time to get a bucket.
No doubt, but they might have to draw up something that the defense isn't expecting.
And so the Detroit Pistons have won the series. And it took 7 games.